You're listening to The J with your host, Kennedy.
Hey, what's up everyone? You are listening to The J, episode 180. It is July 10th, 2006, and I hope everyone's doing well today. Today's episode is a special episode featuring our Anime Expo and HYDE concert report. J-ENT staff members Wynne and Mimiko pretty much braved the crowds at Anime Expo and were able to do an interview with HYDE. And you'll see that article probably within the next few weeks on J-ENT. But what you're about to listen to are reports from the convention floor in regards to Clamp, in regards to HYDE, and possibly you may hear also interviews with other attendees of what they thought about other panels, which include Mana of Moi de Moi, and many more. So, stay tuned, because this is going to be a pretty cool, wild episode, and I hope you enjoy it. But first, I just want to mention that the summer convention craziness is not yet done. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of things happening in the world of J-pop here in the U.S. As I mentioned in previous episodes, Puffy Amiyumi will be touring in the East Coast from July 8th through July 19th. They will be going through Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., New York City, Boston, Massachusetts, Cincinnati, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, and I'll have more information on locations probably at the end of the episode. Also, we have Nana Kitade, who will be at Otakon 2006. She will be performing her first concert in the U.S. and will also host a Gothic Lolita cosplay contest during her participation in the convention. So that's going to be very exciting. And of course, Yoshiki. Yes, Yoshiki. Really popular musician, composer, writer, drummer, you name it. So we're going to start off the episode with some Yoshiki through his popular band X Japan, and here's a classic.
Radio brings you
coming album Splurge, which will be released on July 25th in the US from Tofu Records. Just want to say it's a very good album, very experimental, where they do different genres of music, and they worked with John Spencer of Blues Explosion fame, Dexter Holland of The Offspring, Butch Walker, the writer-producer for Avril Lavigne and Pink, and a variety of others. So it's a very good album. Check it out. Right before Puffy Amiyumi was Lark NCL with the song New Order from the album Awake. This album was released from Tofu Records last year, so you can pick that up by visiting the website www.tofurecords.com. Also, another Tofu record album coming out very soon is Nana Kitade. And what you just heard, the song before Lark NCL, was Nana with her song Breakout Utaeru Ame. And this album will be released on July 11th, 2006. The album is called 18, so definitely check that out. And starting off the J444 was X Japan with Tears. And this song was from their album X Single Collection #1. And you can find that online by visiting Yes Asia or CD Japan. Also, the song was used in the Korean film as a main theme for Windstruck. That just came out a few years ago, so definitely check that movie out and pick up the album if you can. Very cool stuff. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and go on a commercial break, and when we return, you will be listening to Wynne Ip's report from Anime Expo and the HYDE concert in Southern California.
We love you, ladies. We love you a long time.
You turn girls off?
Yes, we turn girls off because you guys aren't needed for this.
Alan, I don't know about you, but I need girls. Girls.
They're not needed for this. You're ruining the way for
girls. OtakuGeneration.net, letting you see how crazy we really are. Catch us every Wednesday for news, reviews, and stuff you can use for the otaku in you.
What is the Orange Lounge Radio To Go edition? It's all the news that video gamers really want to know about.
Yeah, it's all about the news about games that don't suck.
Well, what's a podcast? It's a recorded show that you can subscribe to, so you always get the news first.
And you don't have to have an iPod to listen to it either. Winamp, Windows Media Player, it's all good.
I'm Rob Roberts, and every week on the Orange Lounge Radio To Go edition, I'll bring you news about what's going on in the gaming world. From next-generation gaming to current classics you know and love, we'll give you the news and talk about the effects the news can have on the scene.
I'm Jamie Summers, and every week on Orange Lounge, I'll be here to give you my honest input on the news. When gaming lawsuits are the issue, or a new law is on the table that could affect the gaming world, we'll be here to help you understand how the result could affect you. Also, tune in for my advice column every week, because gamers, if you stay indoors and play video games all day long, you'll never be able to go out and get laid.
I'm Loki, and every week on Orange Lounge Radio To Go, I'll keep you posted on the latest in gaming gear, from hacks to mods to cracked to emulation. We'll be here to give you an uncensored view of what people on the internet are up to. And tune in to find out what geeks of the world install Linux on next.
Join us at www.orangeloungeradio.com for all the information you need to subscribe to our show.
Click on the link that says Orange Lounge Radio To Go on the left side of the page for all the info you need.
And send us an email if you have any comments or suggestions to go@orangeloungeradio.com.
Why should you listen to VGDJ? Because it kicks ass. That's right, non-stop action, non-stop entertainment from start to finish. And when it's all over, you're gonna be begging for more. But don't take my word for it. Listen to what these few people had to say. Oh, VGDJ, very good. Boy, Duval, I love this show. We even went to the streets to ask people. Hey, what do you think of VGDJ?
Sure, man. It's like... So, you're still gonna give me that $5, right?
Even the workplace is no stranger to VGDJ. Between the agonizing screams and people jumping off the roof at my workplace, I actually find this show quite entertaining.
That's it. Johnson, you're fired.
Oh, damn, not again. So remember, boys and girls, tune in to VGDJ every week, or you could die.
This is Philip Kim from Seoul, Korea. You are listening to Japanese Entertainment Radio with your host, Kennedy.
Welcome back to the J, and you are about to listen to a sound scene featuring J-ENT staff member Wynne as she braved the crowds and also waking up early in the morning and standing in line and doing all that crazy stuff at the biggest anime con in the United States, Anime Expo. And this happened this past July 4th weekend. So without further ado, here is Wynne.
Hey, this is Wynne from J-ENT. Currently it's Saturday, July 1st, around 1 o'clock. I got into it about 2 hours ago. There were a lot of people. You know, the first impression I got was, I got in and then way too many people in the area walking, wandering around. And my best guess would be because Clamp is holding their fan focus panel early in the afternoon, and so a lot of people were just lining up in the registration area trying to get a pass in order to get a badge in order to enter the event. So right now they are in the process of getting seating arrangements ready for the Clamp panel. They actually dedicated a room just for people to line up to attend the panel. So if you can imagine, they were expecting a lot of attendees just for this particular event. But when I got in, I was a little underwhelmed when I saw the line. It wasn't as long as I expected. I was actually expecting to be like, the entire room was like half full or something. But, I mean, the room is kind of big, but I thought that maybe there were about 200 or 300 people in line, which is a little less than what I expected, like I said. But I'm sure there are going to be more people showing up later on, or, they just don't know that they're supposed to line up to attend the fan panel or something. But right now they are getting that ready. They expect to, let people in around 1 o'clock, but so far they haven't done that yet. And the actual panel is going to start at 2. However, I may not be able to cover it because at 2 o'clock I have another important engagement, which is to interview HYDE. A couple of days ago we were notified by Soulful Records that we have the opportunity to interview HYDE, and so during the last couple of days we were scrambling for questions and ideas, and and this is a very exciting opportunity for J-ENT because as we know, HYDE is a very popular rock artist in Japan, and we're given an opportunity to conduct a personal interview with him. So I will be coming back to report you on that. Right now I am going to walk around in the exhibit hall and see what cool stuff they have. So I'll be back later. Bye. 2 o'clock Saturday. Right now I'm standing in front of Soulful Records booth. They have a special stage set up for HYDE's appearance. Right now there are 2 empty chairs, and obviously HYDE is not here yet. And in between the 2 chairs there is a banner with HYDE's face on it and the logo face for the album. I would say that right now there are about 100 people, 150 people sitting in the general area waiting for HYDE's appearance. I stopped by to talk to a couple of the girls in front, and they told me that they have been waiting here since noon, so about 2 hours. Right now the crowd is getting a little large, and they're being asked to move by the security people in the exhibit hall. They have the background music playing, obviously songs from the album Face. So they are patiently waiting for HYDE's appearance. I will be back to cover more of this event. Behind HYDE's special stage, there is a Soulful Records merchandise booth. They are selling HYDE tour t-shirts. And I think as a giveaway, as if you buy the shirt, they also give away a poster. The design of the shirt is pretty much the same as the one from Japan, except that the logo is placed at a different location. I talked to the lady at the booth. She also told me that there is a wristband being on sale. I may buy a couple just so that I have them. I will be back to cover more of the event in a little while, so stay tuned. I'm right here with 4 guys here. They're at the start of the clam panel waiting line, so I'm going to ask them what's their name and where they're from and how long they've been staying in line. Go ahead.
I'm Ray, and I'm from Irvine, California.
Irvine?
Yeah.
So you're in the area then?
Yeah.
So you came here just for clam, or are you
for general, so,
okay. So what about you?
I'm Anthony.
Anthony?
I'm from Irvine, California. Yeah.
So are you excited about seeing clam?
Yeah, kind of.
That's great.
My name is Young T from Los Angeles, and I'm just here to see what clamp looks like, actually.
Yeah? What time did you get here?
We got here, we basically got here at 6:30.
6:30?
Yeah, we've just been waiting for a while.
What about you?
MK from Los Angeles. I don't know to say much. I'm only here because they dragged me here.
Okay. Are you an anime fan?
Yeah, but not necessarily a clamp fan.
Oh, okay. But I hope you guys get a pretty good experience at the panel and ask questions and stuff. So have fun and thanks for your time. Okay, thank you. Talk loud. Wait, tell me who you are.
My name's Jamie Brewer.
Where are you from?
Washington.
Okay.
Seattle area. But first we came all the way from Seattle to see HYDE, and Mona was here, so it was like we have to see Mona, and so we came over. Am I talking loud enough?
Yeah.
Okay. And so we were standing in line for to get our tickets. We didn't pre-register or anything. 2 hours and 45 minutes it took, and that was with help. We somehow talked to someone and helping us get a little bit further into the line. So, and then we were about ready to cry because it was 1:30 and we're planning to be standing in line to see it then.
What time was the panel? 4 o'clock or something?
2:30. Yeah, 2:30, 3:30. And then we went straight up, and it was like we stood in line. We're like, "Is this Mona's line?" And they're like, "Yeah, this is standby line." That line was so far out. It was like to the escalator by the time they started letting people in. And that was just inside. They had that roped off. There were about 500 people inside the rope. And so the 500 people started to go in, and everyone's like, oh, they're going in, they're going in. I'm like, yeah, but look at how many people are in there. And so then they all went in, and I looked in the room, and there was still so much space. I'm like, oh my god, we're going to get in. So then they started letting us in, and somehow I got pushed from all directions, but somehow we managed to get up to the third row and to be that close. So that was really, really cool. And then it was like, you know, they played a movie of it.
What movie?
It was like it was a live version, basically. And they played a live version of one however you pronounce it. One of their songs, I don't know what it was. I wish I did because he said it was his favorite song in life, but yeah. And then it was like turned off. And there was hair behind the screen. You could see his hair, and everyone was like, and it was like so loud. It was like, and I was screaming too. So it was like, I can't imagine.
So at that point, he hasn't come on.
No, he was standing behind like the projector screen, and he was like, see him duck down, and then his hair turned. It was like, aww. And it was like, I saw him walk across, a third row over the corner next to it where you enter up. I saw him walk by. I'm like, wow, he walks really fast. And then we turned on the lights, and the guy starts talking. And so it was like,
you mean the MC?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he started to he was trying to pronounce Malice Miser, and he was like, Malice Miser, it's Malice Miser. He's like, Miser. He's like, no, Malice Miser. I'm like, okay, everybody shut up, just let Mana come on. And so then he was like, okay, and here's Mana, and everyone's like, ah, like really, really excited. And he came on and sat down, and he had an interpreter person, and of course he didn't talk. First thing he does is a hand gesture and starts whispering in the lady's ear. And everyone's like, ah, it's a hand thing! Like, yeah, that figures. And then the guy had us all line up in the middle row. I didn't answer your question. And I don't know what I would have done after. And
how long did the whole thing take?
It was only an hour. And then the people went up and started questioning. And I don't remember all the questions, just the ones that stood out. There was one little girl who went up, and it was really, really sweet. They were like giving him gifts and stuff. And she's like, Mana, I really, really love you, and I made you some earrings, and I wish I could give them to you at the autograph session, but I can't make it, so can I please give them to you now? And she was like, okay. She didn't say it, of course. She said it through the interpreter. And she walked up and gave it to me. You could like just see her start to cry right there. I was like, oh, I want to give her a hug. And then there's like 3 questions that really stood out, which one of them was, what kind of hairspray do you use? And his answer was, he puts a lot of passion into his hair, and that's all you have to do. Put a lot of passion into it, and it'll be right. And then one of them was, what was his fetish? And it was, yeah, I know, I was like,
what was it?
What was his fetish?
Any answers?
Cooking. Cooking was his answer to a lot of things. And movies. Yeah, and movies. His, what was it? Yeah, his inspiration for music was movies. His favorite classical artist is Bach, which I was like, hey, I play Bach! And, let's see, what was the other one? Oh, there was this girl who went up, very lovely, that she had a little top hat and really pretty long hair. And she walked up and she's like, Mona, I'm madly in love with you, and will you marry me? Please don't take the fifth. And it's like, she started crying. She literally started crying. And he was like,
she wasn't sure what to do.
He was like, I'm really flattered you feel that way, but I'm going to keep my comments to myself. And she started crying and walked back to her table like, what did you expect me to say? Well, and then one of the other questions was, does he have a love interest? And he said, I'll take the fifth. So nobody really knows what that means. He kept saying that. It's really annoying.
So how about the autograph session? Tell me about that.
Wasn't a guarantee that you were going to get autographs. As soon as we heard that, we all stood up. You want that person. And everybody basically started running, and it was really scary because third floor had escalators going down, and there was like a crowd of 15 people trying to get on the escalator at once.
Oh man!
And I was like, I'm terrified of escalators. I'm terrified of them. I'm like trying to get on and dial my phone at the same minute. I'm like, ah! But she was like holding my hand. She's like, it's okay, Dana, it's okay. And then we went down the escalator. We started running, and the guy's like, stop stopped running 5 seconds and started running again. But one thing that really, really took us off was we were like, 25 people back for the first person. Crowd of 25 people cut. They all just cut in front of us. And then the staff comes up and they're like, oh, we can't do anything about it because we didn't see it. And it's like, we basically know who all was in front of us because we've been talking all down the line about how pretty Lana is and what a great honor it'll be to see it.
Do you know where they came from?
The people? Where was that one girl from? Some of them were from around here.
I mean, like, is it like their fan club people or just random people?
Is it random people? Yeah.
Okay.
We started talking to the group and the people we were around who were getting really, really pissed off. They're like, let's go hit them with our shoes. That's a good threat. Except for I was wearing these. They would have been good. But yeah, and then
So tell me something about like when you actually got, like, what did you say to him when you got the autograph or something? Is it okay to go in there?
I didn't say anything bad. Although, I would have if I knew how, but yeah.
So okay, so the person in front of you was getting his or her autograph, so okay, so that was you.
Yeah.
So what were you thinking when she was getting the autograph, and then were you playing in your head what you're gonna say to him and that kind of stuff?
I'm not really the nervous kind of person. I'm the kind of person who will run up and hug strangers because I think they look cool. And it was like, as soon as what they did was you were standing in line and then you went up and they let in a crowd of 10, but you didn't go into the room to use your request. And only 3 people went into the room at once. So it was really, really personal. And so we both went in and I was standing there and I was going, my knees are shaking. I'm shaking from my toes to my shoulders. This isn't like me. And then I was standing there and I was watching her, and I'm trying to figure out what she's doing, and then she just leaves. I'm like, I'm in here all by myself, and she's not there. And the lady's trying to talk to me, and I'm like, I'm really nervous, and I'm not really comprehending what you're saying.
Which is this lady? The interpreter?
She was no, she was
like the line control.
She was checking to make sure we had tickets, to make sure we weren't carrying cameras or whatever. Okay. No pictures from her. That was really disappointing. And then I walked up, and it was I had Sean for his meeting, and it was the same outfit he was wearing.
Oh, really? Wow.
Except for his hair was a little bit different, and that was basically
What issue was that?
It was just out. It was Shock Biz number 7.
So one of the recent ones, then?
Yeah. It was just out. And Matt's just in it because I graduated and all that band or whatever word you want to use. But, yeah, I went up and was like, oh my gosh, Lana is sitting right there. So I handed in my make scene. It's I never stopped looking at his face. It's I was watching him right. I'm I never stopped looking at him. You're right. He handed it back to me and stuck out his hand, he was going to shake my hand. And I was I just stared at his hand. And I was oh, I'm supposed to shake it. and so I shook his hand and I was bowing and bowing really deep. I was arigatou gozaimasu. And then I backed up and he was still looking at me. I'm I don't want to leave you. And I stayed. And it was he kept looking at me and okay, I guess I'll leave. And it and then I started to walk out and I realized my camera's still sitting on the table. Okay. So I grabbed the camera and I walk out and I'm looking at it and I'm all on my face.
What did you have him sign? That was a magazine. I'm sorry. You just read it.
Yeah. And then she had him sign her gospel side about it. And yeah,
Hey, this is Wynne. Right now it's 10:30, July 1st, Saturday evening. I'm just going home right now from the Anaheim Convention Center for Anime Expo 2006. I'm really tired, so I'm not very coherent. But I believe last time I recorded anything was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What happened afterwards, it was pretty exciting because I got to meet HYDE. Originally we had an interview scheduled with HYDE at 2:30 in the afternoon. However, HYDE was running late, because he's a busy man, and he was running late, and therefore our interview got pushed back to 3:30 in the afternoon. So slightly before 3:30, I think around 3:15 or so, my photographer and the photographer, her name is Mimi, she did a great job, by the way. Mimi and I went upstairs to the hotel room where we're supposed to meet HYDE to conduct the interview. We went there and then we were greeted by the Tofu Records representative outside. We went over some of the the rules, things that we're supposed to do, things we're not allowed to do, etc. Made sure our equipment were working and everything. And then at around, I would say 3:35, 3:40, we were asked to enter the interview room. As the previous interviewer, the press people from the previous group were preparing to leave, we went in and then we set up our equipment quickly. Within 2 or 3 minutes, we were ready. Actually, I set up the audio equipment for the interview, and Mimi set up her photo shooting equipment. So we were doing our separate things. And then 2 or 3 minutes later, I told the Tofu Records representative that we're ready, and therefore they brought out HYDE. And my first impression was HYDE was rather short, but he was a very good-looking man. He was dressed in brown slacks, brown pants, rather casual. I think he was wearing a tank top inside. I think there may have been 2 tank tops inside. One of them was white. Outside he was wearing a jacket or outer coat of some kind, which was also matching color to the pants. So he was dressed casually. He had sunglasses on. He looked a little tired. That was to be expected because he was probably just traveling, from Japan the day before or something. And he looked a little tired, I should say. So I introduced myself. We shook hands. He introduced himself. Actually, I think he said, "Nice to meet you. I'm HYDE." So that was cool. And then we sat down, and then the interpreter, the translator, Fumika, sat down next to me. And so I was directly across from HYDE, and then we started the interview. The content of the interview, I'm not going to go over it right now because I'm going to write about it in a separate article. So please look forward to my report of the interview on the J-ENT website. After the interview, we quickly got up and then had HYDE move over to the photo shooting area where Mimi had already set up. And then we quickly shot about 5 minutes of photo, and then we had to go because we had a specific time limit for our interview. I believe when we were finished, it was at 4:05. Knowing ahead of time that the next event that was supposed to happen was the Tofu Records Q&A session. That was scheduled to be at 4:30, and therefore we had, both HYDE and us, had 25 minutes to get ready to move from the hotel room to the exhibit hall at Anime Expo for the Q&A session. So we quickly packed up our stuff. HYDE already left and went to his other room, and whatever he needs to prepare, he was doing it there. And then we quickly packed up and then thank everyone over there, and then we left and rushed over to the exhibit hall. Because we had press access, we were able to get into the front of the group, front of the stage, I should say. The stage was, like I described earlier, 2 chairs, and then there was a banner, a big poster in the middle. The MC on the stage was teaching the crowd to say something like "Hi Daisuki," which means "Hi, I love you." And so they were practicing, and that was cool because she was trying to get the crowd going and everything. At around 4:30, the MC started to say, "Oh, HYDE has just got out of the car. HYDE is now walking towards the exhibit hall," and that kind of stuff. And so the crowd was screaming, and people were cheering and everything. And we started a countdown, 10 through 0, as HYDE was approaching the stage. So everybody was screaming 10, 9, 8, etc. And right at 0, or right at 1, I should say, HYDE appeared on the right side of the stage, and so everybody screamed, and yeah, it was pretty amazing to see him there in front of all his fans. I took that in Japan you don't really get to see the celebrities at events like these. So there were a few Japanese girls, I think they must have flown all the way from Japan in order to just see HYDE in person. They were sitting like right behind the press area. Yeah, I believe I mentioned it earlier in the 2 p.m. segment as well. So anyway, people were cheering, the press people were snapping photos of HYDE, and so the MC started, saying, let's see HYDE how it's doing and everything, and then we started the Q&A session. So basically, HYDE said a few things, the translator said a few things, and then the MC said a few things, went for about, 10 or 15 minutes. HYDE was answering questions from people who submitted questions from the TOEFL Records website. So there were some lucky people who got their answers, who got their questions answered, and that was great. After the Q&A session, there was a drawing. So basically, from what they explained, if you had purchased a HYDE Face album from the TOEFL Record booth, you get a raffle ticket. So the raffle ticket, so the drawing, I believe several prizes were the wristband, a couple of prizes were for the T-shirt, and then the grand prize was the ticket to the House of Blues Anaheim live on Sunday evening. So HYDE drew, one, read the name, the person was there, that was great, and then HYDE drew the next one, and then he started to say, oh, it was a close number, as in, the number was, close to each other, and then he actually read out the numbers in English, so that was really cute, and his pronunciation was very good. So he read out the numbers, and then he said, in Japanese, that, oh, the numbers are close to each other, and then he pulled out the third number again, later on, and then he said the same thing again, that the numbers were close. So we started to tell HYDE, hey, draw from the bottom of the pile or something, and then so like the MC was also like shaking the drawing box, and so HYDE was also picking from the bottom of the pile of the tickets as well, and then so some other numbers came out that was slightly further apart, so we repeated that a few times. All the prizes were given away, so that was great, and then we got some happy fans. And then afterwards, what happened was he autographed the big poster that was at the back, the poster that I've been talking about. So he signed in a gold-colored pen. The press people were able to take photographs of that while he was signing, and then afterwards he said goodbye to us. And that was about it. So after that, the fans were allowed to take photos of that poster as well. And those who have purchased the album, they said that they were also allowed to stand in front of the poster and take a picture of themselves. So that was really good. That was really great. The only pity was the fact that the audience were not allowed to take photographs of the TOEFL Record event during the event. So that was just that was too bad for the fans. But yeah, they were able to see HYDE in person, so that was great. He was really cute. He had some really cute moments. It's one of the questions I believe when they asked, and then HYDE was thinking, and he couldn't quite remember. The question was like, where did you go shopping or something? And then he was trying to recall where he went yesterday to shop, and then he couldn't quite remember. And then he made this really cute, this really cute face of, where was it? I couldn't remember, that kind of face. So that was cute, and because we were sitting in the front, and so we were looking right at him at the stage, and we noticed that there was this red ball of something hanging behind the chair that he was sitting on, and we weren't quite sure what it was. It was like a small ball, red of some kind, and we weren't sure if it was like part of the chair or it was something hanging out of his pocket or whatever. So that was like during the Q&A part of it, right? And then so he got up to do the drawing, and then we realized, oh, it was like his keychain or something, because behind him there was this cell phone keys, and then this red ball thing, hanging out of his back pocket or the belt or something. It was like this bulky thing of stuff hanging behind him. So Mimi, my photographer, we were, at the front, and we were actually talking about, what that thing was, and then when we saw it, it was like, oh, like it was like his keychain or something, and that was kind of cool, because, I would never have imagined like he was carrying his cell phone or some of his personal items just, at a public event, so to speak. So yeah, that was something we were able to see when we were that close, at the front of the stage. Another thing was, during the Q&A session, he slightly lowered his sunglasses to look at the crowd, and then the crowd was screaming, and he blew kisses to the crowd twice, and so that got the crowd going as well. And HYDE really know how to, get his fans to scream. He was very good at that. Yeah, so I believe afterwards, a lot of the people got to the Tofu Record booth, the merchandise booth itself, which was right behind the stage that was set up for the HYDE appearance. So people were purchasing tour T-shirts, wristbands, and I think that the CDs were also sold there. Yeah, there were quite a lot of people making purchases. So that was good. I believe everything went very well. HYDE was very pleased, and so was I. I was really happy because I was there. And so that was around 5 o'clock when it all ended. And then right after that, Mimi and I rushed to the Clamp press conference, which was scheduled to start at 5 o'clock. We actually were not told where the press conference was ahead of time, because unfortunately we had to miss the press fan panel. And prior to that, it was never quite announced specifically where the press conference was supposed to take place. And so we asked some of the people at some of the staff members that were still left at the fan panel location, and then we found out where the press conference was supposed to be, and then we ran there to attend the press conference. When we got there, luckily it hasn't started, so we got seated, and then about 10 to 15 minutes later, Clamp came out. Because we missed the fan panel at earlier in the afternoon due to the interview that we had with HYDE, we did not see Clamp at that time, and so we didn't know how they looked like. We never knew how they looked like. Mimi and I never knew because we liked Clamp a lot. Actually, we started following Clamp's manga since, I would say, 1994, 1995, like very soon after they became public manga artists. So yeah, we've been reading their books for a long time, so we liked them, and we enjoyed the manga very much. So we were really glad to be able to finally see their faces, and my first impression was Igarashi sensei. She was really pretty. So was Okawa sensei. She was really pretty as well. Okawa sensei was dressed in white. She had a really nice hair done, really nice makeup, really pretty. Igarashi sensei was dressed in brown, I believe, and she had shorts on, but like really cute shorts that were totally matching colors with the top, and it was very stylish. The other two Clamp members were Nekoi sensei. She had glasses on, black glasses, and Mokona sensei, she was dressed in kimono, actually. Yeah, so that was she was dressed differently, and I was quite surprised by that. They were really nice ladies. We were allowed to take photographs of them at the beginning of the press conference. They were shocked by the amount of flashing and of the camera. They were surprised. They were saying, "Oh, this was kind of scary," and they were laughing. And so, perhaps in the previous I think in the previous fan panel, photography was not allowed, and therefore this is like the first time when there were a bunch of cameras flashing in front of them. So they were smiling. They were talking among themselves a little bit and smiling to the press and everything. They were really nice. So after about 2 or 3 minutes of the photograph session, they sat down, and then the press conference officially started. The MC introduced the clan members, who they were, their major works briefly, and then they had the 4 members introduce themselves, who they are, and how they felt coming to America, etc. It was kind of surprising to me personally, was that one of the clan members, I kind of forgot who it was. I believe it was Igarashi sensei, or it could have been Okawa sensei. I don't remember. What the question was, they were asked to say, how it felt to be in America and everything. And to my surprise, she said the same thing as what HYDE said to me in the interview earlier. I asked them how HYDE felt, when this time he came back to America, and both of them said that it was rainy season in Japan, so they really enjoyed the sunny weather in Los Angeles. So after they introduced themselves, the press was given the chance to ask their questions. Unfortunately, they didn't pick my question. They didn't pick me to ask, so I wasn't able to ask my question. But some people asked, what was their inspiration of their work, and how did they start, and how was it difficult to be together for so long. So the press thing went on for about an hour, I would say, and at the end there was another photograph session, and so we were allowed to take photos again. Slightly afterwards, then the whole thing ended, and then we left, and that was about it. So right now I am heading home. That was a recap of what happened today. I'm getting really tired, and so I will be back later on, so please stay tuned. Thanks, and good night. Hey, this is Wynne. I just got home from watching HYDE's first concert at the Anaheim House of Blues. I think I lost my voice because I've been screaming the whole night. So right now it's actually Monday morning at 2 a.m. I'm still excited from the fact that I just rocked with HYDE, and it was a really good performance. I got there at around 4 p.m. and in front of House of Blues there were 2 lines. Turns out that one of the line was for the dinner and show, and that one actually you're allowed to get in first, but my ticket wasn't purchased with the dinner option, and therefore I had to stand in line in the show only the show only line. And at the time when I got there, there were, I think, about 60 people in front of me. But the dinner and show line was like kind of long, so I guess I was about 120, 150 people, behind the front of the line, so to speak. The weather was really hot, but it wasn't too bad because I was able to stand in line and talk to HYDE fans around me. One of the girls actually bought a banner. It had the logo of the tour, and it also listed out the dates of the shows, and she was asking people to sign on the banner. So obviously I signed it. There were already a lot of signatures on it before me. I believe the girl is going to take the banner to the various locations of the live, and then so that more fans can sign on it, and then at the end of the tour, I think it's going to be given to HYDE as the present. So that was great. That was a great idea. I actually took a couple of photos. It was really nicely designed, actually. We got in at around 7:30, I think. The doors opened for us, the show-only line. I believe the dinner line people already went in first. And there were security people checking us for cameras. Like, we have to check them before we get in, because video and audio, they were not allowed at the concert itself. We got in and then settled down. A little while later, a band was opening for the HYDE concert. This band's name is called Blacklist Club. I think they were based out in Los Angeles. They are an American band. They have a MySpace site up, so actually I checked it out afterwards. I got home. Their music was pretty good. They are I would say they're a punk rock band. I'm not very sure with the classification of the band, so or the style of music, but I believe they're a punk rock. Anyway, after like 30 minutes, then they went away, and then there was more sound check, and then finally HYDE and his people came on, and then of course all the fans screamed, and the show, I believe, started at 9 o'clock. The first song they played was Jesus Christ, and I believe that is HYDE's favorite song on the album, and that was also the first song on the album itself. So I think it was fitting to start the show with the song. The second song was Made in Heaven. At that time, I think like the people starting to get into the show, and there were a few people to the left of me. Oh, by the way, I was standing about 8 rows away from the stage front. There was this big tall guy in front of me, so I couldn't really get a direct look at HYDE, so I had to like move around and stuff. But so during the second song, which was Made in Heaven, there were a few people to the left of me trying to push their way to the front of the stage. So it was kind of dangerous, and but I guess that was to be expected because everyone was trying to get to the front. But we did kind of get moved or knocked around a little bit, but we didn't fall or anything. But yeah, so that was kind of bad, but like I said, it was to be expected. During the third song, I believe it was Evergreen. I'm not sure. It was a rock version of Evergreen. Evergreen was released on the first album, but I think later on, one of the singles, the Countdown single, it was also the Countdown single also coupled with Evergreen, and that was the rock version of Evergreen that he played. After that, it was, I believe, Season's Call. And then after that, I don't quite remember because I started to just kind of get into the show and not try to remember the order of the songs. What I can say was the songs on the Face album, 2 of them were not played, and they were I Can Feel and Mission. As for the 666 album, he chose to play Sweet Vanilla, Hello, Midnight Celebration, and Hideaway. He also played Evergreen, like I said. Unexpected was the song that he ended the show with. But during the middle of the concert, he played a cover song by the Beatles called Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Actually, that song was also released on one of his earlier singles called Horizon as a coupled with song. And that song was great. I mean, it was an American song. I mean, it was an English song, I should say. And general public, not necessarily just HYDE fans, but regular people who may not be interested in J-rock would probably know the song because it was by the Beatles. And what I really want to mention was at the end of that song, HYDE looked up to the balcony and made eye contact with this old couple, and the old couple gave him a rock sign, sort of like validating HYDE that it was a great performance, and I think that made him really happy. And I thought that was really sweet, and he kept telling us too during the concert, various MC that he was having a lot of fun, and he was telling us how happy he was. He said a lot of things in English. Actually, all of the things that he said was in English, and his English was pretty good. So anyway, tomorrow I'll be going to the House of Blues Hollywood show, which I'm sure it will be as awesome as today's. I will actually be writing up a report detailing my experience at the concert. So please look forward to my report at the J-ENT website. So right now it's almost 2:30. I'm getting really sleepy. So good night. This is Wynne after coming home from the Anaheim concert. Thank you for listening. Bye.
And that was Wynne Ip's report from Anime Expo, and also afterwards from the Anaheim House of Blues concert featuring HYDE. And I just want to say that Wynne and Mimi did a great job. Wynne, my gosh, not only did she just cover the Anime Expo event, she covered the Hollywood concert, the Anaheim concert, and also the 2 San Francisco concerts for HYDE. And I'm just amazed of how much, how much energy she had to cover these. I mean, she was tired, dead tired. And, I just have to say that, everyone give a big hand for Wynne, because what she did was amazing to cover this event and the concerts in 2 different areas of California, and took a lot of driving, a lot of waiting in line, a lot of patience, and get some sleep, Wynne. You did a great job, and I look forward to the article coming up. Again, the article will be coming up on J-ENT. You'll be able to see photos from the interview. And I'm actually really excited about the interview, because this is something that we've been planning, and to tell you the truth, we weren't sure if we were going to get the interview with HYDE, because in the past, J-ENT was one of the few, press people to get the opportunity to interview Larkin CL. This is way back in 2001. And then they decided that the group decided to, not call it quits, but they pursued their solo acts. And then, of course, we were able to, get a few questions for the press conference roundtable several years ago. But this one was we were waiting for the moment. We were actually preparing for it. And we figured, what, J-ENT, of course. We're able to get a lot of the cool interviews, and I figured, what, we got to prepare for this. And when the call came through, we were so excited. And especially for Wynne and Mimi, since they're both, incredibly hardcore fans of HYDE. So I thought it was that much special, and they handled it with a lot of professionalism, and again, a lot of dedication to cover it both in Southern California and the Bay Area. That's just incredible. So definitely check back on J-ENT. We should have the article up within the next week or 2. And right now on J-ENT, we have a variety of reviews. One for the Area 88 OAV series, recently released by ADB Films. This one is actually the 4 OAVs. I guess you could say they were released as 2 films, and now they're dubbed in English. So they were originally released by US Manga Corps way back in the early 90s, and now they're released by ADB Films right now. Also, we have, upcoming interview will be for Papua, another anime series from ADB Films, and we should have that within the next 2 weeks or a week or so. And we have reviews for Puffy Amiyumi's Splurge and Nana Kitade's 18. Again, both of them. Well, actually, Nana will be at Otakon along with Yoshiki, so definitely check that out. As for Puffy Amiyumi, they will be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on July 8th, Theater of the Living Arts. July 9th, Washington, D.C. at 9:30 Club. July 11th, New York City, River to River Festival. July 12th, Boston, Massachusetts, Avalon Ballroom. July 14th, Cincinnati, Ohio at Bogarts. July 15th, Chicago, Illinois at Vic Theater. July 18th, Detroit, Michigan at St. Andrews Hall. And July 19th, Cleveland, Ohio at the House of Blues. Both are good albums, so check it out. They're coming out this month from Tofu Records. Visit www.tofurecords.com for more information on that. Also, just want to mention on the Oricon charts, the number one album of the day goes to Bees for the album Monster, and the number one CD single of the day goes to Mr. Children for the CD single Hokiboshi. Number one music DVD in Japan goes to Cartoon for Dream Boys, and the number one DVD in the US, according to Amazon, for anticipated or released DVD goes to Pink Floyd Pulse. Going on to video games, the top 10 for the video game charts in Japan are at number 10, Atelier Iris Grand Fantasy for the PS2. Number 9, Eigo ga Nigate na Otona DS Training for the DS. Number 8, Boku no Natsuyasumi for the PSP. Number 7 is Oide Yodobutsu, Animal Crossing for the DS. Number 8, No wa Kitaeru Otona no DS Training for the DS. Number 5, World Soccer Winning 11-10 for the PS2. 4, Valkyrie Profile Visual Profile 2 for the PS2. At number 3, Moto no wa Kitaeru Otona no DS Training for the DS. At number 2, Super Dragon Ball Z PS2. And the number 1 game continues to go to New Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo DS. So, hope you enjoyed today's episode of The J, and we definitely have some plans, hopefully, for San Diego Comic-Con. We'll see if we could do a audio sound scene from there. J-ENT's Gilbert Aquino, Edwin Makarek, and Peter Pastor will be going to SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con, to cover the event. But we'll see if we can do a sound scene from San Diego Comic-Con. And on August 19th and 20th, we will be heading to Fresno, California for Anna Jam. So we'll check that out. And of course, the big one coming up is Pacific Media Expo, and also possible another event in the East Coast. So a lot of things a lot of plans right now for the J-ENT press team, and a lot of things to cover. So hopefully you look forward to that, and just visit J-ENT, www.nt209.com/J-ENT, J-ENT in caps, if you have any questions. If you need to email us at nt2099@gmail.com. So, everyone, you take care, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Visit J-ENT on the web at www.nt2099.com/J-ENT and email J-ENT Radio at nt2099@gmail.com. See you next time.